Hello and welcome to the show. Now, if you're a regular viewer of KitPlus TV, then you would have seen today's two guests before. One company is known for solving remote production workflow headaches and the other for graphic overlays onto live streams.
Yeah, we're pleased to welcome back Adam Leah from nxtEdition and Mike Ward from singular.live. Good to see you both again, gentlemen. So,
Hi guys.
From what Simon just said, there's clearly a synergy there in what your respective companies offer, and we hear there's a partnership forming. But before we go into that, should we just have a brief summary of your individual technologies? Adam, why don't you go first?
So nxtEdition is basically a complete workflow production tool. We use microservices in private cloud to facilitate live production either remotely or on site. And we use a lot of really cool technology, and we're very cutting edge. So we do automation, we do graphics, etc.
And Mike, over to you.
So Singular is a cloud-based graphic overlays platform. Team behind Singular have been working in broadcast graphics for over 25 years. So we know how powerful the traditional platforms are, but we also knew what they couldn't do and what the industry needed. So it's a cloud-based platform that everything is done, the creation of graphics, the control of graphics and the output, all from a web browser with advanced features where graphics can be rendered on the user's device.
Cool.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I'm starting to remember all of that now. So now we've got an understanding of both companies. Tell us about the partnership and how it came about. Why now, Adam?
So we have a customer down in Switzerland called Blick TV, and Blick said to us, we'd like to try singular.live out. Does it work in the graphics machine? So our graphics machines are Casper CGs. Our lead developer is actually the guy who wrote Casper CG from the ground up. And we converted Casper CG to use HTML5 graphic templates quite a few years ago. We replaced Flash with the HTML graphics. So they tried it down there, and they fed singular.live into the Casper, and the Casper just behaved perfectly and just generated the graphics immediately with key and fill on their vision mixer straight into their stream. So they asked us, can we do some more stuff with this? Can we integrate it? And so we tried it and again found the same thing. It works straight out the box. It even works in our script system, ironically. You can actually view them in the script system. So that's when I reached out to Mike. To you, Mike.
Look, from our point of view, we've built Singular from the ground up to be as accessible as possible, because at the end of the day, it's just the graphics. But, we know that's only one part of any production. So we're a platform that's reliant on partners, and, Adam and the team over at Next they're on exactly the same path that we are, which is trying to make these production tools much more accessible to a wider audience, easier to use, easier to integrate, to allow people to do better quality productions without necessarily kind of throwing a lot more money at it, and in a much more modern way. For us, it was really exciting when Adam approached us. Especially, it's also kind of really always nice to hear from a partner when they just talk about how easy it was to integrate the two things. And then the only other thing I would add to that is that we've seen over the last sort of 18 months that the Casper CG forum is a particularly busy area where, there's a lot of activity there. We've had a lot of referrals from there. So this kind of a partnership is just absolutely perfect for us.
So I can see, Adam, you've got some quite cool technology just sat in front of you. Can you give us a quick run through or any demonstration of overlays on there?
Yeah. So basically what we have here is we've got the shot box from nxtEdition, which allows me to cut cameras. So for instance, I have a studio that I can just cut to a camera. There's a wide shot on the studios, for instance, there, or we can go to another wide shot here. So I've got access to all the cameras in the studio. I've also got a remote camera at Wimbledon. I think we've seen this on your last KitPlus. So we can actually see Wimbledon live from here as well. So I can cut cameras here. But using just the standard singular.live shot box here, I can actually start to introduce graphics. So what I'm doing now is just bringing graphics up live in front of you. The difference is here that these are coming from the graphics template in the Casper, and then they're going down the key and fill straight into the vision mixer, overlaying everything. So we can do things like full screen graphics, for instance, where we just push up a full screen graphic. And I'm literally doing all of this live right in front of your eyes. And it's very, very simple to keep, like if I want to put up our Twitter addresses, for instance, we can do that too. Really, really easy. And this is completely drivable from the Singular Live interface, but also some of the APIs that Singular Live have are really, really cool. So our technologies are perfectly aligned. So we're using very similar technologies, which means our Next can feed information to the Singular template. The Singular template then feeds out the graphic to the Casper and it goes out on air. Very, very simple. That allows us to take our things that our users are using from RSS feeds or from, you know, things within the organization, scraping stuff off their web data, etc. And we can just feed it straight into Singular and it comes up on screen as a graphic, as tickers and all the rest of that stuff. So it's a real sort of round trip, if you like, of data. The other thing that's very exciting for us is that Singular gives us the opportunity to talk about object-based broadcasting, which is these graphics don't have to be burned in. They could actually be put on the device. But Next can behave like an authoring tool. So Next can send the metadata to populate these graphics on the device in real time as time-stamped metadata, which is similar to what we do at Blick TV. And we'll probably move towards that more in the broadcast industry as time goes on, that these overlays will actually start to appear on device. That helps with localization and personalization and gamification. And also, you know, if you want to change feeds or if you want to look at something else, you can actually touch the device for it. And Singular is perfectly set up to do that job. And Next is perfectly set up to be able to author that information to send with the video feed to drive the graphics.
It's funny, that's exactly, I was just about to ask exactly the question, how does in real life does it work? And you've just answered that. So, which is comical really. But
Sorry.
How about regions on the devices? No, it's perfect. You've done everything. But how about regions on the, you know, can you change the different information that people get in different regions on devices using the features? Or is that part of it yet?
Shall I take that one?
Yeah, you take it.
So
go on then.
I think from a Next perspective, those guys can deliver whatever content you want to whatever device, whatever region you want. And from a Singular perspective, because as Adam says, our graphics can be rendered by the end user's device. That means every single end user's device. It can be personalized. If we tied into, say, I don't know, if you take an example of Netflix, if they've got a login so they know the profile of the viewer, assuming they haven't used somebody else's password, but then you can tie into that data and say, well, look, okay, this is a male aged 35 to 44, so therefore I'm going to serve them, I don't know, a Mercedes sponsor or, you know, that kind of a promotion.
Yeah,
you can change it around depending on the demographics of the person. But also you can, once we're rendering on the end user's device, you can add in interactivity. So you can then allow the viewers to choose, all right, well, actually, I'd like my graphics to be in the home team colors or the away team colors, or actually, I'd like my graphics to be in French or Spanish or Japanese or whatever it is you want. And that's all happening on each individual user's device. And then as Singular, every interaction that we have with any graphic is a kind of analytic that we receive, so we know exactly how many people are integrating or interacting with those different elements.
So you mentioned earlier on, Adam, about a customer using this integration. What are you seeing the demand going forwards? And maybe tell us a little bit about how that's working.
I think from our perspective, we're going to roll this out as an update with the 19.4 update that's going to customers at the moment, that will basically allow them to take their URL from Singular Live and just put it into the script, and then Next can interpret that. And then the next stage is we're developing the API connections from the Next NRCS system. So we have a scripting system, how we can, you know, get the names into Singular Live, as I say, on this round robin effect, where we send the metadata to Singular and then Singular sends it to the Caspers. And also some further integration about bringing stuff into the actual servers themselves and caching stuff and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff around what we're going to do moving forwards to fully integrate this into the Next offering.
Fascinating.
This will basically be a no-cost add-on to the Next version, basically.
Yes. From our perspective, yes.
Yeah, cool.
And then from our side,
go on.
Sorry, Matt. From our side, all they need is a Singular license, and there's various different tiers. Anyone can try it out, the Singular part, for free.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like the perfect partnership, and no doubt we'll be chatting again soon as it all evolves and all the new features come on. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Great to hear from you. Is there anything else you'd like to get in before we leave?
My vaccination.
We'd all like one of those. Yeah. No, brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming in today. And well, we'll look forward to the face-to-face KitPlus show coming up in Manchester at Media City UK this summer. More about that at kitplusshow.co.uk. And finally, many thanks to Mediaproxy, who support KitPlus TV. You can find out more about them at mediaproxy.com. Thank you, guys. See you next time.